Hook introduction. Have you ever felt like success is just out of reach, no matter how hard you try? What if the difference between ordinary people and those who conquer the world isn't talent or luck, but something you can build inside yourself? Today, I'm sharing a true motivational story about how developing self-confidence became the secret weapon for one man's incredible journey, and how it can change your life too. Small town intro. Let me take you back to a small town in the Midwest, where a boy named Jake grew up. Jake was just like any other kid, curious, full of dreams, but always hiding in the shadows. His family didn't have much. His dad worked long hours at a factory, and his mom juggled 2 jobs to keep food on the table. Jake loved reading books about great inventors and leaders, like Thomas Edison or Martin Luther King. He'd sit in his tiny room, imagining himself standing tall, making a difference. But in real life, he was quiet. Too quiet. Shy kid close up. At school, Jake was the kid who never raised his hand. Teachers called him smart, but he doubted it. What if I say something wrong? He'd think. What if everyone laughs? His friends would tease him gently, calling him the ghost because he blended into the background. Hiding in shadows, deep down, Jake wanted more. He dreamed of starting his own business one day, something that could help people, like a company that made affordable gadgets for everyday folks. But how could he? He couldn't even look people in the eye during conversations. As Jake entered high school, things started to shift, a little. He joined the debate club on a whim, pushed by his best friend, Sarah. "Come on, Jake," she said. "You've got ideas in that head of yours. Let them out." The first meeting was terrifying. He sat in the back, heart pounding, watching others argue with fire in their voices. When it was his turn to speak, he mumbled a few words and sat down, red-faced. But something sparked inside him that day. A tiny voice whispered, "You did it. You spoke." It wasn't much, but it was a start. Life, though, has a way of testing us when we're just beginning to grow. Jake's real struggle hit during his senior year. His dad lost his job due to the factory closing down. Bills piled up, and the family faced eviction. Jake's mom looked at him one evening, tears in her eyes, and said, "Son, we might have to move. I don't know how we'll make it." Jake felt the weight of it all. He was 17, working part-time at a local diner, but it wasn't enough. That's when he heard about a scholarship contest at school, a pitch competition where students presented business ideas for a chance to win $5,000. It could save his family. Notebook dream. But doubt crashed over him like a wave. Me. Pitch an idea in front of judges and a crowd. He paced his room for nights, staring at his notebook filled with sketches of a simple water purifying device for poor communities. It was his dream project, inspired by stories of people without clean water. Sarah encouraged him. "Jake, this is your shot. Believe in yourself." He signed up, but inside, fear gnawed at him. What if he froze? What if they saw right through him, a scared kid pretending to be confident? The weeks leading up to the contest were pure agony. Jake practiced in front of his mirror, stumbling over words, his voice shaking. He'd record himself on his old phone, play it back, and cringe. "You sound weak," he'd tell his reflection. Memories flooded back, of being picked last in gym class, of whispering answers in group projects while others took credit. Self-doubt was his constant companion, whispering, "You're not good enough. Give up now." He almost did. Tearing papers moment. One night, he tore up his notes and threw them in the trash, collapsing on his bed in tears. "Why even try?" he sobbed. His mom found him like that. She sat beside him, holding his hand. "Jake," she said softly, "confidence isn't something you're born with. It's like a muscle. You build it by lifting weights you think are too heavy." Mom's words, on knees, her words stuck with him. The next morning, Jake pulled those crumpled papers from the trash. Morning hope. He decided to try a different approach. Instead of forcing big changes, he started small. Every day, he'd challenge himself. Make eye contact with one stranger, speak up in class once, compliment someone out loud. It felt awkward at first, like wearing shoes that didn't fit. But slowly, something shifted. He felt a spark of pride each time he did it. "Hey, I survived that," he'd think. Sarah helped too, role-playing the pitch with him. They'd laugh when he messed up, turning failures into fun. Practicing confidence. As the contest day approached, Jake's nerves were still there, but they weren't in control anymore. He realized self-confidence wasn't about never feeling scared, it's about acting anyway. He read stories of successful people like Oprah Winfrey, who was fired from her first job but kept going, or J.K. Rowling, rejected by publishers but believing in her words. If they could do it, Jake thought, maybe I can too. On stage climax. The climax came on the day of the pitch. The auditorium was packed, students, teachers, local business owners. Jake's name was called third. His hands trembled as he walked to the stage, the spotlight blinding. He looked out at the sea of faces, his heart racing like a drum. For a split second, panic hit. Run, his mind screamed. But then he remembered his mom's words, those small daily wins. He took a deep breath, paused, and began. Friends, imagine a world where clean water is a right, not a luxury, he started, his voice steady. He shared his idea, drawing on his sketches projected behind him. He spoke of his family's struggles, making it personal. The words flowed, not perfectly, but honestly. When he stumbled once, he smiled and said, "Bear with me, this is important." The audience leaned in. At the end, he asked, "What if we all had the confidence to turn our ideas into reality?" The room erupted in applause. Jake stood there, stunned. He hadn't just pitched, he'd connected. Winning a future self. When the winners were announced, Jake's name echoed through the speakers. First place. $5,000. Tears streamed down his face as he hugged his mom in the crowd. That money helped his family stay in their home, but more than that, it changed Jake forever. He went on to college on a full scholarship, started his company, and today, at 35, he's the CEO of a thriving water tech firm helping communities worldwide. He's spoken at TED Talks, mentored young entrepreneurs, and always says the same thing: self-confidence was my secret weapon. Moral and outro. So, what's the lesson here? Self-confidence isn't magic, it's built step by step. Start small, like Jake did. Face one fear today, speak up in a meeting, try a new skill, or just look in the mirror and say, "I've got this." Remember, successful people aren't fearless, they just don't let fear stop them. Ask yourself, what's one thing holding you back? What if you took that first step right now? Think about it. Every great story starts with a decision to believe in yourself. Yours could be next. If this touched you, hit that like button, subscribe for more stories that inspire, and share in the comments, what's your confidence building tip? Until next time, keep building that inner strength. You deserve success.